Hi everybody! Welcome to my first YouTube video. Today I'm going to be talking about some makeup products that I recently purchased. They are all high-end products, so kind of designer makeup or on that higher end spectrum. So I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so first I'm going to kind of give you an overview of what I'm going to be reviewing. So let's start with the base. So the primer I'm going to be using is the Burberry Fresh Glow Luminous Fluid Base. I got this as a little sample and I really like it so far. I have been trying all these products out ever since I got them, just to kind of see how they wear. The base that I'm going to be using is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. Stays all day and night. And this is shade 1, Cool Freud. The concealer I'm going to be using is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Liquid Concealer. And 1 Fair Pale is the shade that I have. I'm a very pale lady. And then powder, I was excited because I used to work for Chanel. They have a new powder. They used to have another loose powder. This is a new loose powder. So this is the Poudre Universelle Libre, which is their natural loose finishing powder. And I got it in the shade 12, which is the lightest shade. Don't be deceived. 10 is not their lightest shade. 10 just has a warmer tone, where 12 has a pinker tone. And then for my bronze and sculpting, I am going to one of my favorite products for that. I have used this before. I love this product. This is definitely worth the money. I can already tell you that. And it's the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. So this stuff is amazing. You also get a bronzer and a highlighter. The highlighter's but that bronzer, if you're fair, is perfect. It doesn't make you orange. I'm also going to be reviewing the Becca Under Eye Brightening Setting Powder. Every time I try to set my under eyes, it always gets darker, so hopefully this does the trick. And for mascara, I am using one of my favorites. This is the Chanel Le Volume. This is just shade 10. They used to have a bunch of different shades, but I think they're just sticking to black and blue now. And then for the eyeshadow, I know this isn't like high end, but for Urban Decay, this was pretty pricey, and I'm gonna tell you my opinions on it. The packaging is stunning. Colors are stunning. I'm so sorry. The colors are stunning. But what I was not impressed about was I bought one of the lip glosses, which were like $18, and this is how big they are. They're as big as my thumb, like smaller than my thumb. I have very small hands. This is ridiculous. So with that all out of the way, let's get into it and I'll let you know what I think. Alright, so I went ahead and did my brows off camera just because it takes me a little bit longer. I did use the Urban Decay Brow Blade. I don't use the ink stain, but I do use the pencil. This is phenomenal. Highly recommend. And then I carved them out, cleaned them up just a little bit, and primed my eyes with my Urban Decay Primer Potion. So now we're going to get into the eyeshadow. I like to start with eyeshadow first, just in case there's any fallout. So let's get into shading these eyes. So in the palette you can see there's only 4 mattes and the rest are shimmer. So I'm going to use the mattes and the shimmer today. And the first color I'm going into is Good Karma, which is that very light shade because it kind of matches the skin tone. Alright, one thing right off the bat that I notice is this is not even at all. It looks even on camera, but I promise you it's all still red up here. Usually a nice base like this will be able to cover any pigmentation, but it's even showing like all the wrinkles on my eyes. So far, not good. Okay, so now that I have the base on, by the way, I had to pick up so much eyeshadow to put it on my eye. Ridiculous. I'm gonna go in and kind of define my crease before I put the color on. So I'm gonna do that and let you know what I think. Hopefully they work a little bit better than the light shade. Fingers crossed. Okay, so this palette's a joke. I'm gonna switch to a different palette and try to create a good eye look with this, because these mattes are awful. I just put the darkest, like the second to darkest shade in my outer corner, and you can barely see it. So, bye-bye Urban Decay, nobody buy that. Alright, we're gonna go in with a fun one. Let's do the Pumpkin Spice palette by Too Faced. Yeah, I can do something with this. Already 10 times better, and I only used 2 shadows. I used Spice Baby and Whipped Cream, so those two. Coming in at another favorite Chanel product of mine is the Illusion d'Ombre, which is a eyeshadow, which looks like a cream, but it's a powder. So I'm just gonna kind of stick this on the eye right here. I got a little bit of glitter down. I am gonna go back into the Stoned palette and with my finger use some of the shimmer shades because I do want to use this palette. So I think I'm gonna go in with Tiger's Eye on my finger. It's very pretty, very gold. I'm just going to tap that on. Hope you guys can see. Guess I'm just changing everything around. I kind of covered up that shadow liner with the black liner. Did a very avant-garde liner. It's not really avant-garde, but it's just very extended. So now we're going to work on my base. So first I'm going to prime with that Burberry primer. Now that I have my primer on, which I absolutely love, it feels like I'm not wearing anything. It makes my skin dewy and glowy. It is stunning. Let's move on to foundation. So far, so good. Color match is perfect. Pretty. It's a little thicker than I like, but if you do like a full coverage foundation, this one seems pretty nice. So now I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Liquid Concealer, and I will tell you there's one thing I already hate about this. Getting the cap off is a struggle. And there's a sponge applicator. Sponge applicators are awful. They are just little houses full of bacteria. So I'm just gonna get some on my hand. I love the concealer. Okay, so now I'm gonna set it. I'm gonna be using the Becca Under Eye. I love this powder. This powder for under eyes is amazing. I wish I could put this all over my face. So now I'm going to set the rest of my face with the Chanel powder. And yeah, we'll see how it is. So the powder is okay. It's not bad. It's very powdery. So if you have oily skin, this would be great for you. I, however, do not. So it feels like my skin is in shrink wrap. It feels very dry. So I'm still gonna keep it in my collection because I love the brand, but I don't think I'm gonna be using it. I think I'm gonna switch back to bakery powder. Now, to sculpt and highlight, mainly I'm gonna be using the sculpting powder in here, not the highlighter. So, I love it. It's very natural, very light. You know, there's no harsh lines, nothing. It's just a very, very subtle glow. Okay, so for blush, I'm going to be using a Chanel blush. This isn't new, but it's one of my favorites. It is called Rose Bronze. And it's exactly what it is. It's a rosy bronze shade. Just gives you a very natural blushed cheek. Just a subtle blush. Nothing too much, nothing too strong. Almost like an everyday blush. It looks like I'm gonna have to touch up this eyeshadow though. Oof, Urban. Did me dirty. I'm gonna do my under eyeshadow and then lashes, lips, and then let's tell you what I think about this stuff. So after I curl my lashes, I'm going to go in with my lash primer. This is the Fully Charged Lash Primer. I love the mascara as well, but the primer is amazing. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with my Chanel mascara. So I did a quick little liner, a little red liner. It's a Lancome liner. Any red liner works though. Lip liner is lip liner, I think. I'm going to add highlight because I forgot to do that. So I'm going to take a tiny little fan brush and I'm using the Joe Blasco Yellow Gold highlight. This stuff is amazing. School there, and my diploma's right up there and I can't even read. 2012. I went to school in 2012. Okay, so for the lips, I'm going to use my Chanel Pirate. I cannot find my full size. I have like a crap ton of Chanel lipsticks. So we're just gonna go with the mini that I have. Time to set this face and talk about these products. Setting my face, I'm gonna be using this Juicy Namomo. It's either Japanese, Korean. I got it in a subscription box that I get called No Make No Life, and it smells like peaches. So this is the look. It's very classic. It's like a very classic glam, I would say. Yeah, I mean, it ended up looking really good. We had some mishaps in the beginning. That's Urban Decay palette was a no. Please don't buy that. It's not worth it. If you want a nice glitter palette, just get like a drugstore brand glitter palette. Not something that's so expensive and barely has any pigment. All right, now let's talk about the good things. I love the primer. I'm gonna buy the full size of that. That was the Burberry. I love the Charlotte Tilbury foundation. It is a lot heavier than I usually wear, but I usually wear like a BB cream or a CC cream, so it's probably normal for most people. I really like the concealer. The only thing I don't like about the concealer is that sponge tip applicator, because those are just little houses for bacteria, and I just think it's unsanitary. Unless you're only using it on yourself, but even then, if you have an eye infection or something, you're gonna have to throw that away and get a like brand new one. So maybe not so much a fan of that, but I'm a fan of the actual product itself. The bronzer, I absolutely love the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. Staple, natural, it's amazing. The blush I use that on a daily basis. It's the Chanel Rose Bronze. I don't know if they have it anymore. When I stopped working for Chanel, like when I knew I was going to stop, I kind of bought a bunch so I would never run out. So I love that. If you can find it, definitely recommend. The Chanel powder, the new powder, a little dry, very powdery, almost talky, and I don't know about that one. The Becca under eye powder though, can they just make that for like your entire face? Because if they made that for your entire face, I would be so happy. The pumpkin spice palette, I love. This is fantastic. The Chanel Convoitisse, the ombre base, it's like that cream powdery eyeshadow. Love. This lipstick combo, love. And the highlighter, I love it. Mascara is a really good mascara if you like wet mascara that gives your lashes a full lash effect. And I did add some lashes, as you can see. Overall, I do love the end result, and I hope you do too. And look forward to more videos coming. This has been Jess. I'm almost 30. Goodbye.